Hey guys, what's up? I'm here with a view of Diamond Select Toys Minimates Wave number 61, Avengers Age of Ultron. We're going to be looking at Age of Ultron Hawkeye and Ultron himself. So, the packaging here is pretty standard. It's a window box. You got your Avengers up here on the top, the Avengers logo, Hawkeye here, Ultron here, and Avengers on the back. So, there's no reinvention of the wheel here. Now, let's go ahead and get these bad boys out. One. We don't need that. Nor do we need this. We'll take a look at Ultron first. Pass that off to my assistant. Now, we're going to put Ultron on a stand here and get a good look at him. Ultron is, of course, the big bad guy this summer for Marvel, as seen in the Avengers Age of Ultron. Now you'll see here that Ultron has a lot of detail on his chest and arms and legs, and a lot of detail up in his face. I like the things here on the side. Instead of painting those on, those are sculpted, which is a good touch. See if we can spin him around here and get a look at the back of him. Again, the back of this figure, whole lot of detail. Even comes up into the head here, and it's really great for as much detail as this figure has. The tampos are aligned correctly. There's been a lot of times where a figure with a lot of detail, Spider-Man, the tampos will get misaligned and they'll just be just a tiny bit crooked, and it doesn't detract that much, but it is, if you see it, you definitely notice it. But that's not the case with this figure. The one thing that I would have liked is I would have liked for it to be just a touch bigger. Just, by the end of the movie, Ultron he's as tall as the Hulk, and he's got a lot of mass to him. So it would have been nice if we had a larger Ultron represented here, but this is a great figure. So we're going to move Ultron out of the way and bring in Hawkeye. There's Hawkeye. As you see, Hawkeye is also on a standard Minimate body. The biggest improvement to Hawkeye this time over the Avengers Hawkeye, I think, is the hairpiece, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But you see, he has the wrist guard on his right wrist, the finger guards on the left hand, and we'll spin him around here. There's the quiver, like he has in the movie, to keep all his arrows in. Of course, there's the empty spot in the top of the quiver. See if we can get a look at it here for the arrows that come with the figure to be placed in. But yeah, Hawkeye's it's a good figure. Here's the first Avengers Hawkeye. Well, not first Avenger, but you know what I mean. Here's the Avengers 1 Hawkeye. How about that? Try and get them as close as we can to. And as you'll see, the Age of Ultron Hawkeye, the vest or tunic or whatever you'd like to call it, is a little closer to red than it is to purple. I wouldn't call it red, I wouldn't call it purple, but the Avengers Hawkeye is very purple here, and the collars here it's the same piece on both figures. You see the shield logo there that's obviously not on the new one. There's also some silver detailing that's not on the new one. The quivers, it's the same piece, it's just attached differently. On the Age of Ultron Hawkeye, it's canted slightly, whereas this one is just plain up and down. Also, the gray here accents on the Age of Ultron, whereas this one's just solid black. But as I was saying before, the biggest improvement is the hairpiece. I have long hated the hairpiece on this figure. See if I can turn it to the side here. It looks like it's a hat. It's shielding his eyes from the sun, and it's always been just, it's annoyed me since this figure came out. I love Hawkeye. I think Jeremy Renner's great casting, and the likeness in the face isn't bad, but this hairpiece was just abysmal, and I've always hated it. So we'll set these over to the side, and we'll bring on Winter Ops Hawkeye, or Winter Coat Hawkeye, whatever you'd like to call him. There he is, side by side with the other one. I think this should have been the standard Hawkeye. I feel like the sleeveless one is almost a reissue of the one from the Avengers. It's obvious, I've talked about the differences, like the different color not the bright purple, but closer to a red. But he's in that costume the least in the movie. He spends, no spoilers here, but he spends more time in this one than he does in this one. So I wish they would have made that the standard issue Hawkeye instead of the sleeveless one. But at least we got both, I can't complain. So there's those. Two good looking figures. Push them a little closer together and get the Avengers Hawkeye in there. But the Avengers Age of Ultron Minimates have it's been a very good set. I'm not doing a review of Captain America and Thor and Iron Man and Black Widow right now, but I might be doing that at a later time. But there it is, folks. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm Minimadman, and these are my Minimate Minutes.